It is Monday, February 13th, 9:16 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you're watching this live, crypto market cap officially under $1 trillion. Once again, Bitcoin dominance 41.8%. You can see that Bitcoin has gone on a little rally this weekend, but is returning to previous lows experienced within the past 48 to 72 hours. ETH is sitting at 1485. Binance coin is sitting at 289, just under 290. Cardano at 35 cents. Dogecoin at 8.1 cents. Matic at $1.17. Things have come down a little bit since last time we streamed. We can see Dow Jones Industrial Average for the time being seems to be on a little bit of a rally. Looks to have rallied about 150, close to 200 points. It's looking like we'll see if this is just a lower high, so to speak, before it inevitably breaks down. Taking a look at Bitcoin, we can see that over the night, we have essentially dumped as low as 21,430. Breaking the line of support right around 21.5. And since then, Bitcoin has not been able to rally above 21.7. The bulls keep getting shut down right around that price point. Um, we will see what this means going into the later part of the day. Is this just a temporary holding zone? Is this just a temporary zone that we're going to be trading in for the next few hours before we head higher? Or is this a sign of things to come? Because if you look back just 2 days ago, Bitcoin was trading in this area before heading higher. You could say it did head higher because this was more or less the zone that we're in right now is more or less the bounce. Um, the the area where Bitcoin sprung up from essentially after hitting a low right around 21,450, went as high as 22,100, just shy of that. So again, is this just a sign that we're going to capitulate a bit further down? I don't know. Not financial advisor, but I don't think things are looking too hot for Bitcoin. I do believe we have something coming up like core inflation rate coming out tomorrow, so that could spell signs of trouble for the markets if it doesn't go the way we're anticipating. Um, DXY, though it isn't super bullish, it's important to notice that we have held constant support right around 102.95, 103.00. And we've been here for a few days now, about 4 to 5 days. It seems to be that we're consolidating before potentially heading higher. And as we've discussed many times on this channel, DXY does trend higher. We will see stocks and crypto get destroyed as a result. But headed over to Twitter for some news. Brazil's oldest bank now allows payment of tax using Bitcoin and crypto, according to the block. This person had to add their 2 cents, saying, "Imagine giving up your Bitcoin to the government." Well, if it's all you've got, I'm not advocating to give your Bitcoin to the government, but if you have no other currency to pay property taxes or any form of tax in, I mean, I guess Bitcoin is your best solution if you've got nothing else. I'd prefer you to just trade fiat over something with a limited market cap, limited amount of Bitcoin circulating, 21 million. That's all there's ever going to be. I'd rather you trade fiat over that, but to each to their own. Russian government is giving tax incentives for Bitcoin miners in Siberia. Russian central bank just said they're ready to allow international trades in Bitcoin and crypto. Things are get interesting. Over in the luxury resort, Novotel becomes the first hotel in Bahrain to accept Bitcoin and crypto payments. So more and more places, more and more places, including hotels, looking to expand the currencies in which they get paid in. Bitcoin and from the list of accepted currencies over in Novotel. Cheapest way to acquire the remaining 1.7 million Bitcoin at scale will be able to mine it, not buy it. This is probably most important Bitcoin short story in 4 tweets. If Russia decided to use a neutral currency, Bitcoin, for energy sales, and that decision was leaked to a few privileged Russians in advance, what would the Bitcoin chart look like when priced in the ruble? Could it go up 70% in just a few weeks? Russia 65% over the last 10 weeks when priced in Bitcoin. Maybe Putin theoretically sold 3.5 tons of gold, so Russia could buy Bitcoin. It's interesting to point out that Russian state-backed company is building a Bitcoin mining facility with 30,000 miners. As my thesis will explain, banning Bitcoin from the U.S. or forcing U.S. hashers to censor valid Russian transaction requests will not prevent Russia from using BTC, only motivate Russia to accelerate the growth of their own Bitcoin hash forces. This is the beginning of the hash wars, in my opinion. So interesting development happening over in Russia, between their government giving tax incentives for Bitcoin miners in Siberia, central banks saying they're ready to allow international trade in Bitcoin and crypto. Could Russia be accumulating Bitcoin at this current point in time? Not to mention, they're going to accumulate via 30,000 miners. Pretty crazy stuff. Is this the wars, as that gentleman put it? Who knows? But interesting developments nonetheless. That's why I thought I'd share those with you guys. Wow, this is nuts. Sat streaming in on Nostra. Great way to tip for good content and also prevents spam. Some Nostra clients now sort stats, highest sat tip on top. So over on this platform, users are tipping their favorite content creators via very, very small amounts of Bitcoin. We can see for 500 sats, this person donated 500 sats, which is equivalent to roughly 11 cents. This guy roughly donated a sat, which is under a penny. This guy up here donated a little bit over 1,000 sats, which is about 22 cents. Just goes to show you how cheap Satoshis are right now, even with prices above 20K. JP Morgan CEO, I believe this guy's name is Jamie Dimon, says he doesn't care about Bitcoin. Out his Bitcoin, says we don't care about you. F what you say, Mr. JP Dimon. He just likes to FUD the F out of Bitcoin and crypto. Thought this is a joke at first, but it's truly shameful and pathetic anti-Bitcoin propaganda from Bloomberg. Cal Penn, how many petrodollars did you get paid to spread disinformation about crypto?
But cryptocurrency relies on a network of computers to do this, called miners. These miners create new money and then verify transactions with the proof of work system. It's essentially a lottery that miners enter by attempting to solve a very complicated calculation. The calculation itself is completely pointless, like high school geometry. But it proves that you've made a computational effort to mine that Bitcoin. That's the proof of the work of these transactions. And whichever miner wins the lottery wins Bitcoin. I mean, that's why they play. Unfortunately, no matter who wins, the climate loses. because those miners aren't actually cute little cartoon workers with hard hats, although that would be awesome. They're giant containers full of thousands and thousands of purpose-built computers using massive amounts of electricity. Emissions from Bitcoin alone are estimated to be comparable to Austria. So if crypto is here to stay, the question becomes, what do we do about its massive carbon?
Okay, I'm going to stop you there, buddy. A lot of Bitcoin is mined via renewable technologies like solar, wind, hydropower. It's estimated that over 50% of the Lightning Network, or the miners that mine Bitcoin, are running off renewables. So this whole thing that, oh yeah, it's so bad for the environment. Argue, you could argue the central banking system right now, the way it's set up, not using renewables and things like of that sort, it is behind Bitcoin when it comes to a massive carbon footprint. Bitcoin is just going to get more and more efficient with the energy it uses, the renewable ways in which electricity can be produced. Bitcoin will take advantage of that long before any bank like JP Morgan owns or whatever will ever do. So good to see this asshole spreading FUD about Bitcoin, because gives people like you and myself more and more time to accumulate. I'm sure he's stacking behind the scenes, saying one thing, doing another. Here we have Nigerians are reportedly destroying ATMs after central bank limits access to cash and forces CBDC adoption. CBDC is slavery, and Nigerians know it. That's why they're going to extremes as to destroying banks and ATMs, because they can't. Many of them are rightfully so upset that they cannot be allowed to withdraw a certain amount of funds per day. I believe it's something like they're limited to like taking out $250 a week or something like that, something crazy like that. They're being forced to adopt the Nigerian CBDC, and this is how a lot of people are retaliating. So interesting to see. There it is, the first weekly death cross for Bitcoin. Another reason why I'm not so bullish for Bitcoin, but a lot of people like Jim Cramer claim we're still in a bull market. Those no coiner friends, look, you were right, Bitcoin is zero. No, we told you it was just a matter of time. JK, that's actually the purchasing power of the USD. That's how it's supposed to be. We need inflation to stimulate the economy. The enraged normies scream. Here we go. I'll play this for you.
What are the most common financial mistakes you see people make, and how can it be avoided? Good question. The number one I've seen that really destroys people's trading portfolio is not tracking their profit and loss. You're not tracking if you're making or losing money. Let me say it one more time for the people in the back. You are not tracking your trades, bro. You're throwing money, trying to come up like a degenerate gambler. Can you spell that out? Put that in the subtitles. A degenerate gambler. Don't do that. Stop. Hopefully this video wakes you up. Hopefully you catch some revelation for what I'm telling you here. You must track your trades. And if you consistently lose over time and you're losing money and losing money and losing money and your portfolio is not on an upward trajectory, there's a problem. No, you can't just hold a cryptocurrency and your portfolio just consistently go down and just hope that in the future it's going to potentially come back. That is what you call gambling. There is a difference between gambling and investing. Please understand the difference, guys. Please. What are the most common financial mistakes?
That was kind of important to share with you guys. So in other news, SEC to sue BUSD stablecoin issuer Paxos. Again, as we discussed last week, SEC seems to have a hard-on for going after the stablecoin industry, along with platforms like Binance US, .com, etc., who are offering a yield for crypto. They're going after stake, and now they're going after stablecoins by claiming that BUSD is a secure. SEC says that it meets the Howey test, i.e., that there is an exception, or sorry, there's an expectation of profit. How in the hell does a stablecoin create that expectation of getting profit? I don't know, guy at CoinBureau. Your guess is good as mine. This person, adds to the conversation correctly by saying this is getting out of hand. Exchanges and lead crypto creators such as IOHK Charles and Vitalik Buterin have to form alliance and set up a meeting immediately. Yeah, this is getting out of hand with the SEC. It seems like they want to destroy crypto as well here in the United States. And other developments, Uniswap have voted to launch their crypto project on BNB chain, blockchain of Binance. Here we have Rob from Digital Asset News saying it's time to sue the SEC. If Grayscale can sue the SEC for not approving a spot Bitcoin ETF, why not the collective might of the U.S. crypto exchanges for not receiving clarity? What's the other option? Wait for Gary to win individually. There's strength in numbers. I wholeheartedly agree. I would love to see U.S. exchanges, Coinbase among others, come forward together to make an effort to stop the insanity that Gary Gensler and the SEC are losing on the industry. CEO happy to go to court over your stance on staking if needed. Well done, Brian Armstrong. We need more people that have the guts to go stand up to Gary Gensler and his buffoons. Godspeed, Armstrong. This is exactly what I was talking about in today's live stream. Let's get this SHIT over with and have all the exchanges in the U.S. sue the SEC so we can get clarity. Mark Cuban beat the SEC like a drum in his case, so it can be done. It's time. Coinbase's staking services are not securities. We will happily defend this in court if needed. Again, gotta love Brian Armstrong for stepping up and saying what needs to be said and doing what needs to be done. 71% of Cardano is staked, 70% of Solana is staked, 85% of eChain is staked, 63% of AVAX is staked, 50% of Polkadot is staked, 7% of Matic is staked, 64% of Cosmos is staked, only 60% of Ethereum is staked. How much will this change after the Shanghai upgrade? Not exactly sure, but this is not a great look. Ethereum, personally, that's just what I feel like. But what do you guys think? Let me know down below. Rob from Digital Asset News once again saying he's voted to go forward with the sale of Voyager to Binance. We're all taking a haircut, but a hell of a lot better than the junk that's happening over at Celsius. Over at Celsius, restructure as a mining company of some sort. Meanwhile, people that aren't doing a whole lot are getting paid millions over there. Meanwhile, people like you and me, investors who invested hundreds, if not thousands or tens of thousands of dollars on that platform, aren't getting our money back. So what gives? Alex Mashinsky over at Celsius, give us our money back. Stop with the shenanigans. Just give us a haircut already. God damn it. $11 million in a crypto scam founder with Steven Seagal promoting it results in 5 years jail sentence. I personally have never heard of something like this regarding Steven Seagal, but 5 years in jail does not sound like fun. Hopefully, Steven Seagal doesn't have to go through the same. But if he was hyping up projects that didn't deserve the hyping, then yeah, he should go to jail as well. Elon Musk over at Super Bowl in a Dogecoin. Sure, he truly likes the coin. I don't know what to think about Dogecoin anymore. Like I do think Elon does like Dogecoin, but I don't think he loves it as much as he claims. In other news, a little bit kind of pertaining to Elon Musk, coming back to that name here in a moment. Over in Ukraine, Zelensky's running press gangs around Ukraine, grabbing teenagers, sending them to die in trenches in the Donbass region. This is what everyone with a Ukrainian flag in their profile is supporting. The war will not end well for Ukrainians. New low point in Western civilization. Here we have Scott Kelly begging Elon Musk, saying Ukraine desperately needs your continued support. Please restore the full functionality of your Starlink satellites. Defense from a genocidal invasion is not a capability. Survival, innocent lives will be lost. Help, thank you. Elon Musk responds by saying you're smart enough not to swallow media and other propaganda BS. Starlink is the communication backbone of Ukraine, especially at the front lines where almost all other internet connectivity has been destroyed. But we will not enable an escalation of conflict that may lead to World War III. It's good on Elon Musk for that. I'm glad he's not for World War III. After Biden, Buttigieg implemented actual fascism by breaking railroad union. They decided to put your face in an attempt to see how blatant their servitude of oligarchy can be while you still pledge your vote to them, because Trump/MAGA, #Uniparty. Speaking after Ohio derailment, Secretary Pete has no plans to reinstate Obama's brake rule, despite a warning to Congress that without it, there will be more derailments. Buttigieg's dot is now considering a proposal that may weaken safety rules. I don't know about you guys, but more derailments does not seem like something us United States citizens really need to go through. Over in Ohio, there's dead fish and cattle being reported as far as 100 miles away from the site. That was over in East Palestine. Journalists covering the story have been arrested. What the hell is going on? Remember, the rail union negotiations is effect of prioritizing profit over productivity. Massive explosion, poisoning of American citizens should be a much bigger story. Why isn't the media talking about Ohio more? Because they want you focused on the UFOs, the Chinese spy balloon. They don't want you focused on the fact that the Epstein flight list is going to be leaked. I believe something like over 100 names are going to be exposed. Don't focus on that. Don't focus on people getting poisoned over in Ohio. Wildlife in general, whether it's fish, cows, etc., they're all being impacted, which is going to have a cascading, a domino effect over in the surrounding areas. So I'm not gonna play the whole clip, but look at this. This is the train that derailed on Friday in northeastern Ohio and East Palestine, depending on how you pronounce it. Some locals will call it that.
The fucking shit that burned off in East Palestine. This is not fucking storm clouds. Look at it.
Again, I can't confirm all of this is from there, but it seems to be that a news reporter, to my knowledge, only one news reporter has been arrested for coming out with the truth regarding the situation, but it's not good, you guys. And the fact that the Biden administration has done nothing to address the situation kind of is a little bit more frightening as well. Again, a lot of people are comparing this to Chernobyl, but here in the United States, I don't want to make such a claim, but it's definitely more than just a little fire. These big plumage, the big plumage that we're seeing in the clouds is a bit concerning. Fish dying and stuff. It's not a great sign for what's going on over there. My heart and condolences to anybody affected over there. I'm sorry that this had to happen the way it did. It's not acceptable. It's about time Mr. Predator over here addresses the issue. I thought I'd add a little bit of humor to the the darkness of the current situation at hand happening over in Ohio. So I'll leave you guys with this. This is how they faked the pandemic. It was all a theater. This is kind of interesting. Here we have them getting ready for the camera shot. Got to have the sheep noises in the background, of course. Here they're like making sure that it looks believable enough. And it's crazy how they used all these clips to just, convince people that the pandemic was a much scarier, much scarier issue than it really is. I'm not going to act like it doesn't affect anyone, but I mean, if you have people like Bill Gates saying this is mostly affecting elderly people, stuff like that, it's a sign that the gig's up and propaganda is not working as much as it used to be. But this is pretty wild to see how they choreographed all of this. But yeah, that about does it for today's stream, you guys. Hopefully the situation in Ohio, Eastern Ohio / border with Pennsylvania gets addressed, because like we've said, there may be a series of dominoes that fall as a result. As we've discussed, there may be more derailments like the one we saw over in Eastern Ohio. Hopefully it gets addressed. Hopefully it's cleaned up, because this is no way for any of us across the world to be living. I'm not going to act like we have it, really bad here in the United States, because we have it a lot better than most places around Earth, but we still have room for improvement. So let's focus on that. But until tomorrow, guys, please like and subscribe to be notified of next, which will be tomorrow 9:15, 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Till then, guys, please